guys, Meredith with ExtremeTerrain.com, and today we are checking out the Rocker Step running boards fitting all 2010 and newer 4Runners. Now, I do want to mention that this set will not fit the Limited, the Nightshade, TRD Sport, and 2010 through 2013 SR5 models, so just make sure that you get the right ones for your 4Runner. Now, if you've been having some trouble getting in and out of your 4Runner, mainly because you've added a lift or larger tires, these side steps will be a fantastic solution. These will be an excellent choice if you want a step that will allow you to maintain good clearance if you take your 4Runner off-road, while also keeping your rocker and pinch weld area covered, giving you some extra insurance from the obstacles on the dirt or everyday hazards on the street. These will have a large pentagonal upper bar that will cover the entirety of the pinch weld to add coverage for protection and clean up the appearance, adding that finished look to the side. The actual step portion of the running boards will have a 5-inch and roughly 4-inch wide anti-skid stepping pad to offer a good amount of space for your foot and make it easy to hop up into your 4Runner. Now, with the overall design and setup, I think that these balance accessibility and protection well with what they bring to the table. These have a heavy-duty carbon steel tube and plate construction, being durable enough to take some abuse off-road if they need to. Now, both the brackets and the steps included in the kit are also 360-degree E-coated and have a heavy-duty textured powder coat finish on top. It is going to be more of a wrinkle finish for rust resistance and, of course, a tougher look. The kit will also be completely bolt-on, so you don't have to make any modifications or drill into your 4Runner in order to install these. These are about $350, and again, I think that these are a great hybrid set of steps that are good for any occasion, whether it's getting the kids up in the car or saving the side from an off-camber situation if you are taking your 4Runner off-road. Now, other choices may favor one aspect or the other a bit more, which will show in their design, but these offer an all-around great balance if you're looking specifically for both of those qualities. The install here will be a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter and should take you about an hour to get both of these bolted up. Now, one of our customers has put these on their 4Runner and will walk you through all of the details on how to get these onto your 4Runner at home. So that is going to wrap it up for my review. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
Okay, these are the tools that we use for the process. Just your regular socket driver. The extension is not needed. It's just circular preference. And then we used a 12mm socket to remove the original hardware bolts. My 4Runner didn't have any original running boards, but those might need to be removed if you do have them. And then to put on the new hardware for the Iron Bison Nerf bars, we needed a 13mm. I used a shallow just because that's what I had easy to get to, but you could use a deep socket if you needed to. One thing you will want to take note of when you're putting this together, there are 2 brackets that are identical, these 2 here, and then there's this one that is shaped differently. This one that's shaped differently is for the front. These 2, one is for the center, one is for the rear. They're both identical, so it doesn't matter which one. Just make sure you do note which brackets are for the driver's side and which ones are for the passenger side. Hi, today we're installing the Iron Bison Nerf bars on a 21 4Runner. In the box, there's 2 sides. One side is packaged in green, which is the driver's side. The other side is packaged in white bubble wrap, which will be for the passenger side. So the first step will be coming under to the driver's side, where we'll be removing the OEM bolts, 2 up front, 2 in the middle, and then 2 at the rear, which you can see there. OEM size is going to be 12mm. That's the middle ones. And then lastly, we'll remove the 2 rear ones. Okay, so just like the running boards like we talked about, the packages, the parts that are in the green packaging are for the driver's side, so the brackets are the same way. So the brackets will go underneath like that with the provided 13mm bolts. We're going to put our locking washer on first, and then our flat washer on second, which will then screw in to the original OEM mounting bracket holes. There's one. Again, we'll put on our locking washer and our flat washer. And these are going in the exact same holes that we just took the original bolts out of. We're going to swap our 12mm to our 13. Snug. These brackets do have some play in them, so just move them until they're flush with the original 4Runner body. Snug them up. Then we'll come down to the middle. We're going to do the same thing. We'll put this bracket flush up against the body, put in our bolt with the lock washer, and then the flat washer. So we're bringing this bracket to this middle right here where we took the 2 12mm out. We're replacing them with this bracket, and then the 13mm bolts that are included in the kit. Again, as you can see, there's some play room in here. Just make sure that they're flush up against the body of the 4Runner. Leave that one kind of loose so that we can get our second bolt started. Again, those go on, the locking washer goes on the bolt first and then the flat washer. Tighten it up with our 13mm socket. Okay, repeat the same process as we did for this step here. For the very last one, where we took out these 12mm, we'll replace it with the bracket and the 13mm bolts. After they're finger tight, we'll just snug them up with the ratchet. Again, making sure that the bracket is flush against the body of the car. Okay, that is the installation of all 3 brackets that will hold the actual Nerf bar onto the car. Okay, so now that we've got the brackets, we're officially ready to put on the actual Nerf bars. As you'll see here, there's threads on the sides and on the bottom. On the brackets, this will screw through the bracket into the Nerf bar, and the same thing on the bottom. The bolts that we're using, they're the pre-put together ones that they're a little bit shorter than the ones used for the brackets. Again, but they'll already have the flat washer on it and the locking washer on it. These don't come apart, so that's kind of how you know which ones are used for these holes instead of the brackets. So we're going to place the Nerf bars on the brackets that we just finished installing. I'm going to go ahead and start with the middle one to kind of get it started, so that then we can go ahead and line up the other ones before we snug it together. doing the one on the back of the Nerf bar first. Just getting it finger tight as much as I can. We're going to go to the one on the bottom. Get it finger tight again. Kind of have to wiggle it to get those threads lined up and started with the brackets. And then we're going to repeat that process on the front and on the rear. Once we have all of them finger tight, we'll go back with our 13mm socket and snug them up. Okay, so now that we've got all of the bolts finger tightened to the brackets and the Nerf bars, we're going to go with our 13mm socket and snug them up one by one. That's the bottom one, and now we'll go to the one on the back. So then once you're done snugging them up, you'll just kind of want to make sure that they're all squared along with the body, and then just repeat the same thing on the other side.
So that is going to wrap it up for my review and the install on the Rocker Step running boards fitting all 2010 and newer 4Runners, excluding the Limited, the Nightshade, the TRD Sport, and 2010 through 2013 SR5 models. And you can find these right here at extremeterrain.com.